Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Nico, how are you doing? Nice seeing you.
Hello, I'm great. Super excited for today's episode.
Yeah, I mean, we have someone very special joining us today, which I got lucky to meet through our community of flight seamers. And I mean, there is one thing I can't wait for is the time we meet in person. I don't know where it's going to be, but I know it's just going to be crazy. So today we are receiving Edson from the channel TheSkyLoungeTV, so entertainment only. So welcome in, Edson. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the intro. Entertainment only, man. No checklists, no flight plans. Okay, entertainment only.
That's very important. And thank you again for all the playlists you gave me. I quite enjoyed them. Discovered quite a lot of songs. So that's super cool.
You're welcome. I've discovered some music from you too as well. You have good taste.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, that's not something.
And I see from the equipment behind you, you actually are a man of music.
I do. Yeah. There is quite a lot of things, but you can't see the saxophone, which is sitting there, and the two guitars. There is one banjo as well. So it's I have a pretty large set of instruments. Not all that I can actually play properly, but that's part of the gig. So
part of the gig.
Yeah, so we'll be going through different themed parts. So we'll be kind of grilling you on some of your life aspects, how you went to streaming. We'll be taking also some questions from the chat. So if you have some for Edson, please do write them directly, and we'll be taking them at the com. And obviously, we'll talk about a different part of your life, which is not only about content creation. And we'll also quiz your knowledge about your own channel. So I hope you're ready.
Right on. So we'll start on the personal. I'm going to take off the business hat right now.
You can put it back a bit later.
All right. Now you have just me.
Just you. Perfect. I'll put the volume of the music a bit louder. I think it's okay. It's not covering our voice. Or I mean, if it is, just let me know in chat, and we'll adjust that as it comes. Cool. Okay, so so you removed the hat, so now we are talking only with Edson. So one of the big thing we usually ask is obviously beside content creation and something we will be talking after Parallel 42. Who are you? So what do you do? What do you like? And what's your life? In a general, broad question. So, quick intro for you.
How long is this podcast?
No worries. We'll have guided question after, so you can do a very summary.
I look like I'm 25 years old, and I probably am still early in life. But man, I'm 47. I think I had to look back for validation. Oh, 46.
46. See? Oh, okay.
I'm 46. I have a lot of experience under the belt. Not below the belt, under the belt. Music man myself. You see back here my DJ equipment.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s and 2000s, I was a house DJ in nightclubs up and down the East Coast here in the U.S., based out of D.C. Unfortunately, I don't play any instruments. I don't play any instruments. I only play other people's music. Yes, that's me. Photography as well. I'm a very visual creature, and then I discovered the world of working a real job, and I came up kind of the tech track of IT into management, and then crossing over into operations, which is obviously more of a broad problem-solving type of role. Came up through operations and discovered live streaming to relax the mind.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings us to today.
Yeah.
And then through live streaming, I discovered something else that will take us to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Further down our interview path.
Yeah. And talking about your knowledge in the IT and genre, I would say it's broad like visual and IT, because your channel has, I mean, we'll come in detail through that, but you have a very complex setup compared to most streamers. So I just know that every time going to your chat, and specifically the voice and audio that you've basically put on, like the work you have when you start speaking, the music goes down, and you have like this kind of. I mean, I love what you've done with that. So it's just super cool, and it shows your. Whoa, sorry. I'm going to reduce the volume of the alerts. Sorry.
Run Shotgun, thank you for the sub.
Thanks a lot for the sub.
The Alicia family.
So
Spam the emotes in chat.
yeah, there is one emote right
It's
now.
programmed, bro. It's programmed in now.
Okay, let me
Or
reduce
should
a
we
bit.
do the whole thing? Should we do the whole thing? We'll do the whole thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Run Shotgun. Thank you for the follow. Thanks.
I need that. This is so cool.
I mean,
Thanks a lot again, Red Shotgun. That's such a cool thing. Thank
we'll go
you.
through the whole thing.
Yeah. So currently you can enjoy one specific emote. so,
Yeah.
so thank you, Dr. Hugo, for the follow as well. And now I think the volume is about right. I'm just going to put it a bit more. Yeah, we literally got deafened by the alert sounds. So
It's okay. We can always go louder with our voices now.
yeah.
You know, back to your comment and question about the stream. Quality is something that can, I believe, make or break whether or not somebody kind of sticks around. I feel like investing in your equipment is as important as investing your time in making yourself available to people, right? Like you can sit there with a entry-level webcam, but that only works up to a certain point. When I first started streaming here on Twitch, it was 2014, and I started with no webcam. I was very opposed to having my face on a stream. I was like, that's not going to happen. Fast forward about 1 year, people kept coming back. They weren't going away. The crowd was growing, and basically they ended up, screaming and moaning for a webcam. And so I was like, all right, cool. I'll do a webcam, but I'm going to do it in black and white. Right? I don't want to be the focus of my content. I want the visuals to be the focus, the music to be the focus. By the way, for those that don't know, at TheSkyLounge.tv, we mostly stream flight simulation with a combination of, I guess you could say, almost a radio station. It's music and flying, right? So it's visuals and it's audio. And I didn't want to be the focus. So I went with a black and white tiny camera in the corner, and I held on to that as long as I can.
Yeah.
Eventually it evolved, and I started saying, okay, if you tip, you get color webcam for 5 minutes.
But you're a businessman, first of all. So that's the thing, like, we can say about you. You are a businessman, because that was very smart thinking at the beginning.
So it monetized the color webcam for a little while. And then, it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I'm starting to see where people kind of can build a connection with their screen. Even if I'm on their third display or fourth display, or like, flight simulation, fifth, sixth, seventh display, right? People like to put displays everywhere in flight sim. Even if I'm on one of those, if they build a connection, they keep my tab open.
Yeah.
So I become, in a way, their entertainment, and they end up basically helping me grow my exposure as well as a streamer. Fast forward to today, I think you felt some of the pain of my webcam swapping, because I've got multiple webcams, including one mounted on my shoulder for people to see over my shoulder as I fly. And, it's gotten way more complex now. Yeah. But I think that the quality of your equipment, now I see this lesson that at the start I didn't see, and it does make a difference.
Yeah. I mean, it took a while for me to get like a proper camera, and I'm just glad I did. So I really see what you have, and I like the camera in the back that you have as well. Like seeing you from far away, it's quite.
Oh, the back one. Yeah.
It's quite cool. So, we'll stay into your personal and private life for a bit, specifically asking you some question which I already obviously know some answers, so you can't lie. That's one thing. So, first of all, do you have pets, and why dogs?
I do. Because I hate cats, I have a dog.
So this is where the podcast stops, and then I wish you a great day.
Nacho, come here. I have a small dog named Nacho. He travels with us absolutely everywhere. He's a good little guy, and he also does not like cats. Thank you, Ms. Harper. This is Nacho.
Hey. He seems a bit disturbed. Like, what are we doing here?
He's very comfortable in front of the microphone. Don't worry. He's done this before. He's ready for showtime. Nacho travels with us a lot. Anytime we go to flight sim expos and things like that, or travels, he's always with us. I'm allergic to cats. That's the true story. I don't really hate them.
That's why.
Here at the studio, we actually have cats that live outside in the alleyway.
Thank you, Jess.
And I find myself caring for them. Even though I'm allergic, and I like to say I hate cats, I still think they're cute. So, yeah.
Then we're good. We can keep going. I can't say otherwise. Like, I have 3 cats. I have to be on their side. Otherwise, I can't sleep. I can't do anything. You know, they're going to come for me in the night. So,
so my business partner Kevin, he had a big, fluffy, fat cat that was like the Goodyear blimp, and I think he now has a dog because I come visit so much. I kind of feel bad, but not really.
But you said it's a big cat. I'm guessing that's a big problem with the maple syrup. So
yeah, maple syrup, exactly.
It's born and bred in maple syrup. That's a problem with that cat. So,
Canada.
You moved quite a lot. So you mentioned East Coast. I know you've been also on the West Coast. What was like your origin dream? Like when you were younger, what was the thing that you really wanted to do?
So I was born in San Francisco, but I was raised in Washington D.C. in Northern Virginia, Washington D.C. region, and when I entered the world of IT, I think at that point, definitely my dream was like Silicon Valley, right? Like I wanted to be at the epicenter of technology. Like put me in the city where I could get a job by spitting, right? Like, you know, a company is born every few seconds probably there. A company is funded every few minutes probably there. So opportunities aplenty until a certain point. You know, and so when I had the opportunity to move to a consulting firm in San Francisco, I took that jump and I picked up and I moved. I'm terrible with dates, so I don't have dates for you. But I picked up and I moved to San Francisco and I lived that dream. I worked in Silicon Valley for some time, and it was a good time. It was nice to be able to come into work at 11 and leave at 2:30 and take an executive lunch for about an hour and a half and collect a full paycheck. But look, as long as you did your work, it was fine, right? So, but the mindset is different there. The mindset is definitely different in California. In DC, the concept of work really feels like work. In California, the concept of work feels more like play. And maybe that's formed me into the balanced person I am today, where I'm able to kind of put on that hat and be work, but I can also separate myself and protect my space on Twitch as a streamer and just exist as myself. Like anything I say is not a company statement. Don't take it as this is me, and I existed before the company that we started.
Yeah,
and I think that's important.
It is, and that's a thing we definitely share on the on that aspect. So I feel you, but it wasn't. I mean, maybe it was, but it wasn't. Most probably your dream when you were little, like 5-10 years old, something like this. You were more
to be a pilot. I would say probably my dream at that point was to be a pilot. I look up at the sky when an airplane flies over. I cannot resist it.
Yeah.
So it's the magic of flight does something for me. I think it's incredibly cool that we can walk into a door through a jetway in one place, and when we walk out of that same fucking door, we're somewhere new.
Yeah.
Maybe with a language we don't even understand, right? With signs that maybe we can't even read. It's like a portal. I mean, it's painful in the middle. Yeah. But
I was about to say, like 14 hours to get your message.
Portal.
It is long, still a bit too long. Where is the Concorde when we need it? So
don't get started.
Sorry.
Tell me you've seen the latest TikTok trend of people, pardon my French, raw dogging flights, where they go on long haul flights without noise canceling headphones, and they sit there the entire flight with no noise cancellation or no entertainment, and they just sit there and fly.
I've not seen that, but that's
it's a whole thing right now.
That's bravery.
That's bravery. Thank you, Bose.
Yeah.
This announcement is not sponsored.
Yeah, I mean, we both have Sony headphones, so we should be partner with Sony, I guess now.
Yeah, there you go.
Sony, if you hear us, like, we want a partnership now.
Yeah,
Bose, I'm down
sponsor the podcast. Yeah.
Well, we could try to find sponsored for the podcast for sure. So you mentioned you were doing DJing right in the 90s. So when did you get your first computer? I know you went, like, it's not the same thing exactly, but
man, the digital life came early for me. My dad, born and bred in South America, came to the United States for a better opportunity of life and to give me a better opportunity. And thanks, Pops. And he was big on technology, very much so a technologist himself. But when he was growing up, right, these things, they didn't exist, right? Like he didn't have these luxuries.
Yeah.
But now that he was a grown man and had a son, he had an excuse. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of like my excuse to buy a complete Voltron back there and some limited edition Transformers and a first class seat from TW. I'm a grown man. I'm going to buy my toys now.
Yeah.
Right?
We're just child with adult money. That's the main thing.
Yes, exactly. and so he bought, it was an Amiga 500. No, the Commodore 64 was first. And then an Amiga 500, and then an Apple Mac IIc, because that's what I started drawing on in school. But the Commodore, bro, using a cassette to load your OS. Like, that was my first tech. Fast forward a few years from that, I went into a tech school. I got kicked out of a tech school for hacking. I did some questionable things and got banned from shopping malls for hooking up things to payphones. And I stayed in technology.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all in the past.
I mean, I won't be the one blaming you on that. That's for sure. I discovered when I was too young what man-in-the-middle attack was. And so I played a lot with my neighbors, and they didn't like that. They didn't like that at all. You know, ARP spoofing, trying to be there and redirecting different websites to some that you don't want to be redirected to.
Look, it was fun. We were young.
It was fun. I mean, my neighbor was very nice and just came down to my place and say, "I know what you're doing. Stop." I'm like, yeah. So he was an engineer, and so he saw that directly, understood what was happening, and I was like, okay, yeah, sorry.
and now look at the computer you have in front of you, right? All of that is part of our journey.
Yeah.
If we did not find the joy, we wouldn't have that joy today. We wouldn't have the knowledge to begin down the path that we've gone through today.
Yeah.
You have to find the joy. In whatever you do, you have to find the joy.
Yeah.
Let it become work later, but it has to start with enjoyment.
Yeah. And
otherwise, it's just a job.
It is. And
nobody wants just a job.
Computer science in general should be freaking fun, because it is. And the way I know that the school I went to, it's basically the way they teach was just, let's build video games. Let's just do that. Like stupid games, but let's do that. And just by doing that, you go through algorithmic problem, you have to handle so many different things, which is just awesome, because you do that by making something that's freaking fun. So, yeah, 100% with you on that. For sure.
I thought I was cool. I thought my story was cool. Until I found out that my business partner, Kevin, who does all of our UI design and all of our development at Parallel 42, started off building UIs in Microsoft Excel. Who does that for fun? He did. And look what he does now, right? He makes art.
I mean, he's there, right? It was PowerPoint. Okay.
Or Power.
Was it, I mean, please tell me, was it really something that you found fun? Or was it like you had to say it was fun? Because I would question that quite a lot.
He finds sitting in a canoe fun. I find that too far from an internet connection. So he's a weird one.
Fair enough. And so, what was the first simulation game you came across? Okay, I scared him. Wow, okay, so is that the first one?
Yeah, that was my first one.
Insane. And so, I mean, this is collector, right?
Flight simulator. Yep. One is scenery, the other is program, and there were a couple more too. This is version 4.
Insane.
It's been a downward slope since then. I mean, I think I discovered that I like the concept of safe exploration, right? You get to explore the world. It's a little bit technical as well, right?
Yeah.
Flying a plane, landing a plane.
It's not technical anymore.
And in the middle, it's got a low requirement for attention. In the middle, you're just flying. So you're watching YouTube, listening to music.
Yeah.
That's kind of where the concept of the Sky Lounge came together. Right?
Yeah. And I mean, I think I most probably played the first one, which was in 2000, for my first one, 2000 something, or 1998, something like this. So it was already good graphics, but I've seen video of the first one, or I think the one that you saw, you show, it was literally just lines. Yeah.
It was lines.
I mean, you had to have imagination.
Yeah, right.
That's super cool. And so from there, did you like buy constantly the next Microsoft Flight Simulator, or you went through like explain or others sims?
Good question.
DCS.
So there was I've never really dabbled into other flight sims. It's always been the Microsoft legacy, if you will. But I did have a break. Right, there was a break in time when I was deep into DJing and music where I wasn't really simming. But I do remember this one visit my cousins in Bolivia, and I went over to his house as a long-haired teenager listening to Motley Crue and Poison, and he showed me his flight sim, and I was like, wow, this came far. And like, now you had runway lines and you had, more fidelity, and I think it was 2004, and it got me into it again mentally. I didn't build a rig specifically for flight sim until many years later, but it stuck in my head that like, man, that was fun. I'd like to get into that again.
Yeah.
Eventually I did, right?
Yeah.
Grown up with the grown-up toys, I was like, I'm gonna do it. Why not?
I think I have to ask you, what's your gaming computer now? Like, what do you have in?
So she's called Black Betty.
Okay.
She's a 14.
It has a name. That's already something. It has a name.
Bam-a-lam. 14900K 4090 Ti, water-cooled, all water-cooled. 64 gigs of RAM, and then the basics after that.
Yeah. Okay. I won't ask for any price. It's I mean, you said 4090 Ti, right?
Say it out loud.
Yeah.
The other half.
I mean, I don't know if I can say that, but it's a company device. You have to have that to test your product, right? So
I found it at a thrift store, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No big deal.
Definitely. And so how did you start DJing? Like I can understand, like, for Flight Simulator, you saw that the first time you tried it and you got hooked. How was the start for you on DJing?
Thanks, Dad. So my dad was also a nightclub DJ.
That's cool.
Makes sense.
So like I said, here's this long-haired teen listening to Poison and Motley Crue, while my dad was playing dance music at the time, right? It was like disco into dance. It was Italo disco or Euro disco. And I remember him playing a track by Patrick Cowley called Megatron Man. That's like my jam. Look it up. Megatron Man. And all of a sudden, something in my brain flipped. And I was like, yes, what is this? And I started listening to dance music myself. Fast forward maybe about a year and a half of openly accepting this concept of dance music after listening to like heavy metal and stuff. And I found myself recording DJ sets on the radio, on my radio, on a cassette, and then taking the tape when my dad would go to the record store and asking if I could buy this one song. And then the next time, this next song, and the next time, the next song. And then when my dad would go to work, I would sneak into his DJ room with these same turntables, by the way. These are from the 70s Technics 1200s. I would turn on his equipment, put on my records, and try and replicate the blend, the mix, right? Audibly, I could tell where they started the next song. So I would try and do the same. Next thing you know, I'm spinning at nightclubs, man.
Which is nice.
So that's where the interest came from. My dad again.
Yeah. He brought along some things for your life, so which is good. So that's cool. And so you started DJing East Coast. Did you bring that to West Coast when you moved, or did you focus on work?
No, focused on tech at that point. So there was a point in time where nightclubs were no longer booking out directly to DJs. As MySpace began to take over and Facebook started to form, you started to see a middleman. Funny you mentioned the middleman attack. Yeah. This was a middleman attack by club promoters. Now, a club promoter inserted themselves in the middle, and they would pay the DJs, and they would sell their mailing lists to the nightclubs. So instead of a nightclub saying, we like your style, we'll book you for Friday nights, come every Friday night, it became the nightclub saying, how many people can you bring? So-and-so Productions. And they're like, well, we have 10,500 on MySpace, and we have 6,000 emails, and we have 4 DJs on our roster. And they're like, okay, yes, bring that to us. Thank you. And who do you think kept a lump of money at that point? Right?
The middleman.
So I went from walking up to the ticket booth at a nightclub and collecting cash at the end of the night, which was a percentage of the total number of people that entered. I went from that to one time getting offered $150 to spin an entire New Year's Eve. And I'll never forget that moment. That's where I made the decision. I'm done.
Yeah.
There's no $150 that's going to get me spinning a nightclub on New Year's Eve when I know what they're going to make.
Yeah.
I'm out. And that was it. I focused on tech.
Yeah. Where there is a lot more you can do and keep DJing, but more on the hobby side rather than the professional one. I feel you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Went to some similar conclusion on music.
I don't think it's too uncommon to find those situations.
Yeah. And so you met Run Shotgun in your life. I think was in California when you mentioned that, like in that time, right?
Yes.
How was it? Like now you're fairly close. Okay, I know that you have a good relation. How was it for an American like you to actually get along that well with a Canadian?
Well, the weirdest thing was the first trip I took to Canada, having to explain that we met on the internet and having customs say, tell me more about how you met. And it's like on Twitch, it's like live streaming. Anyways, that's a little forward, but when I moved to California, I was working in tech, and a coworker of mine I discovered was into airplanes and flight sim as well. And so we started having sessions in FSX where we were doing multiplayer. And at that time, I was already hosting an MP3 based radio station stream. I had a URL and everything. I was like a full radio station, right? I was streaming my playlist publicly. This is back when you can do that.
Yeah.
And so I had a radio station, and then I was doing flight sim. So what I would do is queue up a bunch of good music and be like, bro, tune in. I'll play music. We'll fly and goof off. So it was just the two of us doing group flights and listening to music. Fast forward, I think 6 months, and he was like, bro, you should stream on Twitch. And shout out to Jeff. And I was like, what do you mean I should stream on Twitch, bro? Like, why would I want to stream like on a gaming website? I don't even game. I flight sim. And he was like, no, man, you have like a good personality and shit. Like, people like you and stuff. You should stream like your flight sim. And I was like, that's stupid, bro. Nah. Then I did the research that evening, and I discovered a streamer. It was a good friend of mine today. His name was Dane Flats. Fantastic content creator and entertainer extraordinaire on Twitch in the flight sim segment. He's an entertainer, right? He's not the most technical at his streams, but he's an entertainer, and it was chill to watch. I experienced that, and I said to myself, all right, let's try it out. And so I downloaded OBS and I fired up a Twitch stream. It was me, an F-16 in the Thunderbird livery, and music. Probably AC/DC Thunderstruck, right? Just flying and having a blast. Next thing you know, people start coming by, and more people, and then streamers in the category started coming by and saying, you're like the after party, dude. Because they weren't really doing music, they were just doing flight sim. And then they would end their streams, raid my stream, and come in and hang out and listen to music to relax. So it grew and it grew. And I said, all right, well, I guess I need to brand this. So I actually started my personal Twitch account as OMGEDSON on Twitch in 2014. So my first stream was 2014. That's 10 years now. The formula didn't change, but on the second year, I said, I have to brand this. I don't want to be OMGEDSON. I don't. I want people to know this as a thing. And so in 2016, I registered TheSkyLoungeTV. And I spun that up, switched all the streams. It was a little bit painful. I'll never forget. I was like, I have like 1,000 people. How am I going to tell all these people that I'm at a new channel now? This is never going to work. It worked. I would go live with OMGEDSON, and it would have an ad for the TheSkyLoungeTV for like weeks. And so we transitioned to crowd, branded it up real nice. My partner in crime at the time, Mr. Spark Smudge, was streaming with me. He had been streaming in the category already, so I had the tap on the shoulder from somebody that already was in this category. And we did a lot of shows together. He was a host on the channel as well for some time. And it grew and it grew and it grew. Fast forward a few years as a content creator and just consumer of Flight Sim, and I met Run Shotgun in the chat. And Run Shotgun, aka Kevin Menard, my business partner today, was at the time the creator of, I'm gonna do it, Kevin, FXX packages. It was
That's
the
a good
dumbest
branding
name in Flight Sim history, and it was just dumb.
FSFX
but
package.
he had such great products. It was just fantastic. It was FSFX packages and this wonderful product called Precipitate Effects. And I would tease him every time he would walk in like that. And, over time, we just vibed, man. Like he's like my brother, today. And he's a visual creature himself. He appreciates quality and finer details in things. He's creative. He's, intelligent. He's funny. And we just hit it off. And he would come back and he would ask me, like, what my thought was on something that he was building. And that feedback loop, it grew. Is he saying bad things about me?
No.
That feedback grew. It became an open feedback loop where he was coming to my streams to ask, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And I would provide my feedback. And fast forward to an opportunity one day where I gave better advice than his existing business partner at the time. And he was like, I'm done with that. If I'm going to continue, I'll continue and I'll build something with you. And I was like, funny you say that. I'll build something, but I'll build something with you. And that's how Parallel 42 was born. So from a content creator and a streamer and a consumer of Flight Sim products, now I had the opportunity to shape products, and then today the opportunity to create products.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story, and I think he most probably appreciate the spread of love that have been said. So he went silent after the FSFX. I want to FSFX packages. Sorry. So. But no, that's good. So yeah, we can definitely cross the fact that you being Americans and him Canadian, didn't impact at all your relationship.
At all. It was internet based, right? It was internet based. The only interesting part, like I said, was crossing that border for the first time.
Hello, just I've been seeing you, and yes, I had to have that.
And you can't even say at customs, I'm here for work, because then they're like, oh, sorry, sir, no work permit. Sorry, turn around, go home.
Yeah. You could have said you just come for holiday. You know, that works.
Yeah,
It
works.
We did that, right? Or can we say that, Nico? I don't know. I mean, no one is going to check that. I mean,
They're watching.
It's an American platform, and I don't want to be banned from the US.
They're watching.
I think we checked.
No San Diego this year, I guess.
Yeah. No. But I think we checked last time, and if you come for a conference, you can come saying that you're coming for holiday.
Yeah.
So yeah. I just had like something in my mind. I was like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't say that. Hey Dash Game, nice seeing you. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Hey, 4-2 fails. So everyone's going at that time. So yeah, sorry. So we started with kind of the genesis of where Parallel 42 arrived and started. So what's the tell me what's the main kind of mission of what are you trying to achieve with Parallel 42? I know it's in the sim world, but like is a vision for like what do you want to achieve, like main goal?
So I should take this opportunity to say we're not an aircraft factory. I think it's a common misconception that you can only be a one-trick pony in business, and it's not the case. We release products across the spectrum of categories in flight sim. We have top-rated sceneries. We have top-rated vehicles, both on the air and the ground, with the Juice Goose. We have top-rated utilities. We have top-rated UI mods. So wherever we can apply our experience and our abilities to make life better or more immersive or more pleasant in flight sim for consumers, we do, right? It would be a waste of abilities if we didn't build other tools just because they weren't another airplane.
Yeah.
Or just because they weren't another scenery. It puts us in an interesting position because you release something that's out of the category that someone's fixated on, and they're like, why do they do? They need to build an airplane. I remember when they would build planes. What are they doing these days? This company's going under. And so we're doing anything but going under, man. We're like blazing uncharted paths, man. Like we're creating incredible things and doing things that no one's thinking of doing, right? Like Flow is a wonderful example, right? Like the sim has a menu bar at the top. The menu bar at the top of the sim sucks. It's limited space. It's ugly. It's intrusive. What game today uses a menu at the top? Not even Windows has a menu at the top anymore. Sorry, Mac OS, you do. But not even Windows. A wheel. It's incredibly intuitive. Every game under the sun has a wheel to interact with. You click a button, the wheel pops up. You click a tile, you do the thing, it disappears. And so we rebuilt a menu system for Microsoft Flight Sim that used this concept of a wheel and widgets. And oh man, the pitchforks came out. It's our top selling product, but it didn't stop people from going, how dare they build something we don't need? We have a menu. Why do we need another menu? They should be building planes.
Where is my plane?
You want us to get bored? Because it would be very boring to build one thing over and over and over again with a different shape.
Yeah.
So we create unique things.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool. Also, the because you had, so as you said, you have many different products. We had a chat. I don't know if we can say that or should say that. So you stop me if you see where I'm going. Okay. So there was a conversation we had like a while back talking about pricing on products and talking about raging or kind of complaints that you can get. And there was a very strong difference when you offered like a first product for free and
We're going through that right now.
I mean, you have the same issue again.
We're going through it.
Okay.
So did you get a cue or something? Do you have a microphone at my house?
No,
Just
I
this
didn't.
Morning I was
Yes.
going on about that.
Well, I mean, it's Alicia, right?
It's Alicia.
She's
Yeah.
spying
I
on
mean,
me.
we just go through your logs with Alicia and we just know what you're talking about.
So we use exactly. Alicia, stop listening. So we release a product for free called SimStaller. It's too difficult for people to find a community folder to install add-ons when it's inside of a folder that's actually visibly hidden
Yeah.
by default by Windows,
100%,
right? Like
yeah.
app data is not visible by default. So you tell a person that's fairly new to Flight Sim, just drop it into your community folder. Bro, it's not like the documents folder. Community is in like 16 characters / local cache / whatever. It's like 10 directories deep in a hidden folder.
Yeah.
So we create this beautiful application at the end of last year called SimStaller. It watches your downloads folder. When it sees that it's a Flight Sim add-on, it automatically launches, puts it in community, tells you it did it, and you're ready to go. You don't even click a single time. And we said to ourselves, we had a good year. Like, this is for the community. And we put it out for free. Oh my gosh. First of all, we use Shopify as our platform. Great platform. But Shopify has rules, right? In order to download digital content, you must create an account. You must have an account to download the digital content. In order to create an account, we need your email. Because how else are you going to get update notifications?
I know where it's going and where it's going.
How else are you going to get your download? But no. Free was not good enough. People they're stealing our data.
Exactly.
They're going to sell it. They're stealing all our data. And this app knows everything we installed. It's reporting back to the cloud. The White House is going to have a log of everything. The FBI is going to show up at my house if I pirate an add-on. Right? I don't want these guys knowing everything. All right, so never again free then. Like, that was bananas. If it had a $1 price tag on it, we wouldn't have had any of that. It would have been gone. It never would have existed. Yeah. And so we said to ourselves, well, that's fucked. I don't think we'll ever do free again, man. So additionally, there's this business concept that we have in Flight Sim or this scenario rather, anything that is sold on Xbox has a minimum price tag.
Oh yeah.
It's very unfortunate, but there is no free on Xbox. So things have to be at $5, $4.99 to be exact. It feels weird to say, Xbox people, you get to pay $5. Everyone else, free. That, to me, as a consumer in Flight Sim, as a business person, feels odd. So, when we released the next add-on that could have been free, we knew, hell no, it's not going to be free. We got to put a price tag on it because Microsoft Marketplace is going to be $4.99 forced, and I don't want it free on our site because that's just going to create that problem again, plus the discrepancy of making one customer pay $5 and the other doesn't have to. So let's get close. We'll submit it on Microsoft for $4.99 because we have to. We have no choice. And on our site, it was $2.99, I believe. Oh my God. The rage that this should be free. That was an app called Thick Scroll. Luckily, I had written some notices to Microsoft, and they actually accepted it in as the first free product on Xbox. They
Oh,
loved
nice.
the concept so much that they were like, this is helpful to people. Let's put it in for free. And I was like, cool. We refunded anyone that bought it on our site, and now we made it free. Now we have free and free. We just released a new UI mod yesterday called Marketplace Stars, and it makes browsing the store significantly easier by colorizing the stars system. So you can now just scroll and find something red, and you're like, well, I'm not even going to stop to look at that plane because it is red, poorly rated. I'm avoiding it. Ching, you just possibly saved some money there. And so you can browse more visually your options in the store. Definitely not free. We learned that lesson. So $2.99. Oh man. This morning, I should just build this myself and release it for free.
Then do it.
Okay. As if that's some insult to us. Like, we have to sell it because it's going to be $5 over there. Like, I'm not going to, give away work too. Go ahead, build it yourself. Bravo. Another comment. Asobo should just do this by default in the sim. I hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope they see what we've built and go, fuck. Why didn't we think of this? We should do this. Then are we heroes?
I let you say it.
Will you switch at that point from, I hate Parallel 42 for doing little utilities like this and not an airplane? Will we then be heroes? Because Asobo said, I like what Parallel 42 did. Let's do that by default. Doesn't someone have to step up to make these quality of life changes? I'm okay being that person. I'm okay being that person. And we're not going to stop.
Yeah. I mean, there is this saying like haters gonna hate. So it's going to happen every time. However, the free stuff, it is just insane. I mean, I've seen that happening so many times, and we got exactly like a while back. I'm talking about like 10 years ago when I was doing like a very shitty Android and iPhone app, which we gave up for free, which helped people to just, send a request to grab a coffee when you're in a company, and you can just then say yes, so when you go, and so you can all meet up at the coffee machine. That was stupid, but we liked it, so we did it and published it, and we got like some people like rating at 0 stars and like, oh, they just want the email. I'm like, no, first of all, it's optional, but if you don't put it in there, like, you can't log in. So it's like you have either way to put like a username or an email. So just like make a decision and just leave us alone. Like, we don't care about your email. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's perfectly okay to say to yourself as a business, that customer is not a fit for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's perfectly okay. Look, we're not a corporate entity. I'm not funded enough to need to be your friend. I don't even need you to like me. Like what we build or don't like what we build. I promise our pricing will always be fair. I promise our ethics will always be well. Like, I want to build cool stuff for cool reasons, for cool people. Anyone that doesn't get that,
not your problem.
all right, man. Not a fit.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be not a fit. It's okay for you, and it's okay for us. We're going to be okay. You say, how dare you fire me as a customer? And the next email is, I love your support. Thank you for taking care of me so swiftly.
Yeah.
Balance. It always finds its way.
It is. So you moved. So when you built Power 42, right? You moved from California to Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
How was that decision?
An interesting story.
Yeah. And
so I mentioned earlier we had Silicon Valley and the dream and the beautiful balloon that takes you to the top.
yeah.
Well, the balloon pops. There was a period of time. It was the silicon. There was a name for it. I forgot what it is now. But it imploded. Companies left and right were going under. At the time, I had some trouble finding my footing. I took 2 years to do photography and travel the US, and I did a lot of photography. And then I found my footing again at a company for a few years, and then they got absorbed and moved to Texas. And I was like, yeah, that's not happening. So we got laid off, and at that point, Parallel 42, the name, the business, was already thought of. We were already with Kevin working on like making things happen. There were already deals being made for our first product, and Kevin
Sorry, I just commented that
this is
domain
where I have
wasn't
to
cheap.
be nice. Yeah, the domain parallel42.com was not cheap. Not at all. But we have it, parallel42.com. He took a risk. A calculated risk. And he said, Edson, I'll take care of you if your runway runs out. My runway being my severance pay, right? I don't know how it works where you guys are at, but when we get laid off, we get a nice fat check.
Yeah.
Here's your check. Got a couple months. I had my severance pay. It was good. And he's like, but my fear, like with anyone else, would be, bro, if that runs out, there's no semblance of good there. I either A, need to be working by the time that runs out, or B, I don't know, bro. Like, need to be out of my house, right? And I had fallen in love with Kansas City because I was visiting for work. And already I had been negotiating an opportunity here in Kansas City. And Kevin was like, if your runway runs out, I'll guarantee this much of a secondary window for you. And he's like, but the only rule is you have to leave California. And you have to go do what you want, where you want it. You have to leave California.
And pricing wise, it was smart to do that as well.
The runway is significantly longer in Kansas City than in San Francisco. We drove across country together, and for a long time I think it was in Utah, we were behind a Walmart 18-wheeler, and it was one lane each way, so we were just stuck behind this fucking truck for hours. And when people ask me here in Kansas City, like, why would you move here from California? My answer is what I read on that truck. It's spend less, live better.
Yep.
And that was it. That was on the back of that truck. And it's like, that's my explanation, man. I spend less and I have a great life in Kansas City. The restaurants are amazing. The culture is incredible. The pace of the city is incredible. The city is beautiful. Traffic is non-existent. Travel to either coast is a 2.5 hour flight. Bro, I can't even finish a movie and I'm landing on a beach. It's great.
Nico, when are we moving to Kansas City?
I mean, It's the same for us. We're in London, but we're not really enjoying the London life, and it's just more expensive than if we were living anywhere else.
I've been advocating for moving to Croatia. Like, Croatia is great, weather is great, rent is great, food is great, everything is great, but more or cheaper. And I'm like, I don't know why we're staying in London. I mean, I know why, but it is annoying.
Quality of life is everything. I think everyone goes through a cycle where work is everything. That's fair. That builds a good person. If you have gone through the cycle of work, and I never get to play, good. There will be a time where you'll appreciate having gone through that, because when there's a time that you can choose to play, the work will bother you, right? Yeah. I can get up right now and I can leave all day. I can get up in December like I'm going to do and leave to South America for 3 months. But I don't stop working. I find a way to get the job done. I know that for myself, I've got to work. And that work ethic comes naturally to me. You get that and you build that by doing the grind early.
Yep.
Everybody has to go through the grind, man. If it's handed to you, I don't think that it's the same.
Yep.
I don't think that it's the same.
No. And we've seen that often. So I'm
working late into the night tonight because I'm spending an hour here talking with you.
I mean, an hour, we already crossed the hour bar. We haven't even started like this.
I know, I love it.
I mean, I will try to move faster on some of them. But first, a quick one. Do you have a pilot license or not at all?
No.
No. I was wondering.
So back in my early teens, through ROTC in high school, I did do like ground school, and I did do forgot what part of the license, but I never kept up with it. It was something that was gifted through like a scholarship, if you will, but I never kept up with it. As a young kid, I couldn't do it. There's no way I could afford that. And as a grown-up, to be quite honest, I have no genuine interest in it.
Okay.
Is that weird? I look up at every airplane, but I don't want to own one. I don't want to fly one. I want to ride in them every time, but I don't want to own one. I think that if you told me, yo, Edson, here's the cost of your airplane wet today so that you can go fly laps around your local airport, I'd be like, bro, give me that money.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go do something else, like eat at a nice restaurant tonight.
But
like,
if the money...
I just feel like it's
if the money wasn't like on the table, like let's say it's a free plane and it's a free, maintenance, you would most probably.
Maybe.
Yeah. I feel you on that, because the price of it is exactly what's a problem for me. But
I like to have too much fun, man. Something tells me that they'll be like, Sky Lounge, 5 Kilo Yankee, you're clear for approach. I'm be like, yeah, not yet. Thanks. I'm going to stay up here a little longer, thanks.
I say you'll be losing your license quickly, but you will still be able to enjoy it from it.
But that life that our friends, the Flying Cowboys, Trent Palmer, etc., that life that they build for themselves going backcountry aviation, that's special. They pick up and they move to these states and these areas where there's tons of public land and not much control over the aircraft. And they stay low and they don't die. Sorry, Trent, it's fly low, don't die. I know. And they have fun with airplanes, with their experimental, stall aircraft. And I think that that's maybe the spice that could get me interested. The problem is I get an Amazon delivery the same day. He probably has to wait 6 days where he lives, man. He's so remote. So trade-off.
Yeah. Trade-off. Hey, Hanky Swiss, how are you doing? Sorry, I'm just crossing through the chat that we missed some, but Yes, we will be starting finally, Rob. Sorry for the delay. And apparently, so you already had a printed virtual pilot license from a Canuck show, so you should be able to fly there. Hey, lovely button. So, I have like three last questions around specifically your personal life, in a sense. Is there, because we kind of went through a lot, but is there one specific mistakes, like in all your different experience, that you've done that help you really learn and grow, that you would like to share right now?
I didn't have enough time to reflect on that one.
Yeah, I know it's but it's usually the first one that comes to mind. It's usually the one that you should be sharing.
None of them are mistakes. I've been pretty damn good. I'm lucky. I consider myself very lucky. I got nothing.
No,
I'm
that's
so
fine.
lucky. Everything has connected dots for me, moving in a direction that I can't see something that I would look at like, oh, that was bad, but I learned.
It could be as simple as I shouldn't have ordered the tacos from this place because it took me a day. So, I mean, you don't have to go for a very deep understanding on it. Like, you can just go for something a bit light if you want.
Oh, man. I shouldn't have raced that Corvette that day and ended up in jail.
Did that happen?
It happened. But
so the Corvette
story
win
goes deeper and dumber. The story is deeper and dumber.
Let's go.
And it probably speaks to my character a bit more. I had a friend that was finding himself and trying different things. He was the type of person that didn't have his interests fully defined yet, right? So he's kind of experimenting. I remember he had done like skydiving, he had done like scuba diving, he's trying all sorts of things. I was big into cars, really big into cars. And I think it rubbed off, and he went out and bought a Trans Am, like an LS1, right? He went for the top. If you went to buy your first bicycle, he bought the bicycle with like fixed gears and no brakes, bro. Like the top. And so he rolls up with this fucking Trans Am, and I'm like, bro, what the hell? Like, this thing's a monster. Anyways, fast forward a few weeks, and we are leaving a car meet at a local restaurant, and it's 100 cars getting onto the road, right? It's late at night. It's around 1 a.m. And there are a couple of us cruising on a wide open highway, 495 in DC. And it's a loop, right? 495 is a beltway, so it's a loop. And we're cruising. Then we start cruising faster. Then we start cruising faster, and then a Corvette comes up on us, and just now it's Mustangs and Corvettes and my friend's Trans Am. And we just fucking haul ass. We go. Fuck it. All out. It's 1 a.m. I know where the cop usually sits. There's no way he's going to be there at this hour. We're going. And so we take off. And my friend in his LS1 is the best pairing for that Corvette. So they are now in front of me, pulling away. I had just a standard Mustang. These guys are running. And I'm like, damn. I'm going to call him Bob. It's nowhere near his real name. And we're gunning it. And I'm like, we're coming up on the bend. Next thing you know, that bend is gone. Next thing you know, lights. Next thing you know, the cop flies past me, rolls forward, and gets behind my friend, who has never done a thing wrong in all of his life. The most clean-cut white dude you can imagine. And now he's got state police on his ass. And I'm like, shit. And he starts slowing down. I'll give you one guess where the Corvette went.
Oh,
yeah, he kept going.
Yeah, obviously.
He accelerator and just fucking went. My friend starts slowing down, and I'm like, bro, no way. So I get behind the cop, I pull off to his left, and I take off, hoping that the cop will follow me. So the cop follows me. But guess who follows the cop?
Your friend is following the cop as well. No, I mean...
I was like, you're supposed to take the exit. What are you doing? So now I pull over. The cop is behind me. My friend is behind the cop. We're all on the side of the highway. We're all obviously doing dumb shit. And the officer rolls up, handcuffs in hand, puts them on my lap. And he's like, I have one question for you. And I was like, yeah. Why did you stop? Because I'm a good citizen, officer. I saw your lights and I had to stop. Yeah. Oh. Both of us. 14 days. We had work permits, so we were allowed to leave, but weekends in jail. True story. I tried to save my friend, and
he didn't.
He put himself in. I figured, look, if one of us is going to get in trouble, let it be the loud one.
There is Kevin asking you, like, what was the color of the car?
My car?
I think so. I mean,
Kevin... Mine was mineral gray.
Okay.
And his was black. It was just pitch black.
Okay, so not too much. So I was expecting something a bit more, visible.
No, it was just a black car. Crazy. I regret that a lot.
He didn't.
I could have not been in jail because he wasn't after me.
I mean, true. That could have been a bit more easier for you, specifically if your friend is following behind it. So it's, I mean,
you could have been like, "Bye, bro." See you at work tomorrow.
So I'm going to we'll keep those one just a bit shorter, I think. Otherwise, I mean, we're going to spend the afternoon together, literally. So I don't know when you're planning to finish work today, but I'm guessing it's going to be late.
As long as people are entertained, I don't mind. It's fine. Are you guys all right with that?
I think they are. And so it's two elements, past and future. But the first one is if you had to, you're meeting up with your 30 years younger self. So right now, what would be the main thing that you would like to tell that guy right now? After, rethinking of all the stories you just said, your life now, was there anything you'd like to tell him?
And this one goes out to the parents out there as well. Video games are not a waste of time.
Amen.
Unless you let them be.
Amen. Amen.
Unless you let them be. Enjoy yourself. It's good for your mindset. Right? Limit your time as needed, right? Take those damn steps that you need to take that your watch yells you about every hour. Take the steps. Yeah, it's not a waste of time,
Yeah.
right? I believe that you can find a business or a service in just about anything if you do it right. Just, keep your morals in check and make sure that what you deliver is not something illegal.
Or make it legal through push around the politics.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And just, and no idea is stupid. None of them. The stupid ones are sometimes the most brilliant ones. People just don't get it.
Yeah. That was a really damn cool. It's a perfect response. I like this one. And so, to close this part specifically, what's your future plan? Like, is there any places you're planning to move at some point? Or, I mean, I know you won't be moving out of Power 42, obviously. So it's more, on a personal level, what's your future plan for the next, 5 years, maybe?
Quality of life and focusing on that. I think, working in the corporate world had me in a scenario where, for example, I didn't see my parents for sometimes 10 years because you have your vacation time and your vacation time is like 10 days a year and I'm sick 3 days of those, and travel to South America takes 2 days each way easily. And so when am I going to see my family? I had a very long run of not seeing my parents, and it sucked. It sucked. I was working for a company, and I did not have my own personal quality of life at that time. I'm lucky that today that feeling is different. I am enjoying the quality of life and the balance that I kind of enforce on our company, right? If Kevin is grinding too hard or Jep is grinding too hard, bro, it's time for a break. Step away. Or let's do something else fun. Let's build something dumb. We are free as long as we are doing the work in the end. I'm lucky that I get to spend time in South America. I leave the winters here and I go see my parents now. I see them 3 months at a time now, every year, sometimes multiple times a year. That's beautiful. That's time that I will never get back.
Yep.
Like, it's either I use it now or I won't have it one day. So, we try and pack our year understanding that towards the end of the year, I disappear a little bit for that time and we're not as heavy. I can't stream, for example, right? I can do a show, but I don't have this mega production space, right? I can
IRL stream.
Raw shows. Yeah, little IRL streams, hang out, play something dumb like SnowRunner, just do other little things.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy life, man. And that doesn't mean that I'm swimming in money. We're not. We're just finally able to taste a little bit of freedom and not feeling a weight of life on our shoulders.
Yep.
Let's just do what we're doing, keep our pace, and keep moving forward.
Amen. It's I like the advice. I could say sit here, just listen to your goal in life and your advice. I'm good with that. So this is clothing the kind of personal side, and we'll be moving on into the next section. So I think that's on you, Nico.
Yes, I think we're trying to find some balance between this kind of very serious topic and all these life-changing advice you're giving every now and then.
And it's beer o'clock.
Try to bring some more fun segment, and it's my responsibility as the expert in fun. So, well, So I cooked some would you rather type of questions.
Okay.
And you will have to go through. There is no right or wrong answer. At least that's what I have to say. And yeah, hopefully it will be enjoyable. So let's start with the first one. Would you rather have a stream where your audio is out of sync or your video is pixelated?
Oh, come on. I'd rather stream on my phone than that. Oh my. Okay.
For you, this one is the worst.
I'd rather have a pixelated stream.
Okay.
He cries in bit rates. I can see in the chats. You got some comment there.
I just went through this. I feel like you're taking a stab. I just had the internet people here just yesterday to give me brand new hardware because our bitrate was dying because the hardware was old. And for the past 2 weeks, we've had terrible bitrate, but my audio has been perfect. I feel like you really have microphones.
It's Alicia, and we told you.
Yeah.
We just consult Alicia just before the podcast. We just ask question, and she just makes it so it's easier for us.
It's kind of our accurate crystal ball.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, second one. Would you rather fly in a Boeing or an Airbus plane?
Bro, that's tough, man. Doors are flying off right now, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Foxfly. Thanks a lot for the follow.
But I'm a Boeing guy. So it's like... I'd rather be in a Boeing, man. If I'm going, it's gonna be in a Boeing.
Thank you, Try, for the follow as well.
And maybe by going, I mean... But, you know.
I mean, you could also say, like,
It works both ways.
You would fly in a Boeing, but, you know, the Boeing's from 1980, for example, before the merger with McDonnell Douglas.
This is true. This
So-
is true.
Juba, don't get started, please.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, next one. Would you rather live without internet or live without AC?
Bro! There are 2 air conditioning units in here. One points directly at me. The reason I will not join Kevin on his canoe is because there's no internet there and there's no AC. These are personal. I hate sweating. Bro, I'd rather have no internet. I'm okay reading a good book. I'm reading one right now. I'm okay.
I
No
approve.
internet.
I approve this one.
But I will not sweat.
Okay. Would you rather have to sing everything you say or dance every time you walk?
Dance every time I walk for sure.
Well, is it better
That's
for
easy.
you or for people around you?
It's better for the people around, trust me. You don't want to hear me sing. I have auto-tune on this mic just for when I talk.
Okay, last one. Very complex one. Would you rather have spaghettis for hair or sweat maple syrup?
I could live a good life going like this. I'm going to go with be covered in maple syrup.
And it goes along with a good relation with Kevin as well.
Yeah, sure. No, for real. My man came and visited Kansas City, and I took him to a nice restaurant. Nice one. Had a nice brunch. He looks at the fucking maple syrup thing. He's like, bro, this is shit. I was like, bro, that's probably real maple syrup. He's like, no, it's shit. And the next time I had a can of real maple syrup brought to me.
Exactly.
And he was right.
Yeah. I had so it's a Canadian streamer, Imperial Jedi, who joined us for the Rotterdam TwitchCon, and so he spent some time in London as well. And so we're talking about the importance of maple syrups in the overall like food in general. So he was saying like the bad maple syrup is everything that you get outside of Canada, but I will bring you more. So I just enjoy that Canadians like to share their maple syrups, so they're happy to send over. So
They are.
good.
He brings every time.
Oh, it's cool.
Great. Well, I hope you had fun.
I did,
Can
man.
move back to the serious questions.
Sorry, I am the serious guy here, so you know how it works. So now you put
Barber
your
Papa's the fun police. The fun is over now. Back to the interview. Thanks.
exactly. So listen carefully. This is going to be more serious about your content creation life. So I want you to be focused, and we will go through a few questions. Are we happy to
ready.
proceed? Yeah? Cool.
Ready.
So you already mentioned that. So you started in 2014, which doesn't help me for the next element, because I can't get stats about your channel during the period from 14 to 16. So there might be some stuff where you will have to correct me on what I know about the part of your channel. So you mentioned that it's one of your friends who pushed you to go on Twitch, which was most probably at the time when he mentioned that. Was it just in TV, or was it already Twitch?
It was just transforming into Twitch. And before that, I was streaming live on Justin.tv, streaming DJing. I had another community that I ran called Your Crate for DJs.
Okay.
Crate of records. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but there is now a specific category for DJing, I think, if I remember well. Yeah, so it's thank you DJ Clan, I guess. That's what we can say. So when you started your first I'd say channel in that angle, like aviation, music, you really had a plan on what you wanted to produce as a content. Did you like set up, or at least, put yourself in front of a drawing board and just trying to kind of think about what you really wanted to have there? Or did you just straight in go live and see what happens?
I wanted to give people just what I was comfortable with, and it kind of worked out. So Kevin says I'm an introvert extrovert.
Yeah.
I think I would commonly say that I'm an introvert, and then my partner yells at me from across the room and says, "You're not even an introvert." But I'm slowly refining this to perhaps say that, okay, maybe I'm an extrovert, but I have a very low capacity social battery. Very low capacity social battery. So I'll pick and choose kind of when
it
I
is
turn
a thing.
this on.
It is a thing, the kind of introvert, extrovert. There is like this middle ground of humans who are not actually either extrovert or introvert, but that can find like piece of awe energy on different spaces at different times. Like sometime recovering just by not doing anything, being chill at home, reading a book or listening to music. And sometimes it's actually completely the reverse, and you will recharge just by seeing your friends and going in a bar or whatever.
It's just crazy to me. I definitely don't want to recharge with more people. Definitely not. So it was comfortable for me to go live with the visuals of Flight Sim and music. And the formula there is that the music keeps me from needing to talk. I'm terrified of dead air. Mm-hmm. I get a social anxiety over dead air. So I reduced my visibility in the streams and increased the visibility of like the visuals and the music. I'll invest all day long in my rig so that Black Betty produces the most amazing flight sim visuals possible. And The music, well, that does its own job by itself. Me, that just means I get to talk less. Right? People's brains are entertained by the song that's playing and what they're watching, and I don't have to talk as much. And if I do, maybe it's between a song, maybe it's answering someone. You know, it does ultimately mean lower viewer count, but I'm okay with that. I want to be the small local corner bar because I want to know everyone's name. I want to respond to everyone that says hello in the chat. I don't ever want to be the channel where the chat's just like this and it's like, where's my connection with them? Yeah. I have so many viewers now, I can't even catch when someone says hi. I would feel terrible if somebody said hi and I didn't say hi back.
Yeah.
Right? So we end up with a lower overall viewer count, high in the followers, low in the total viewer count, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
If I turn off the music and I only do voice, a different thing happens though. Viewer count goes up. My anxiety is higher because now it's just me. But the viewer count goes up because they're just looking for a friend. And because the next song that plays isn't going to be one that they hate and then they leave. Yeah. Right? Because I play a variety of music, this song could be your favorite. The next one could be something you hate.
Yep.
The next one could be a good one.
Yeah.
But I don't care because I have an open mind to music, but someone else might want to hear AC/DC Thunderstruck on loop all day watching Flight Sim. So
yeah, I feel you on that. Saxophone has the same effect. They come, request one song like that, and that's gone. And so I was going through some of your stats on your channel, and one of the elements that I noticed is that between 2018 to 2020, you had some sort of a drop on hours streamed, like an average, like kind of drop at least 60% compared to the year after and the year before. And I was just wondering, you don't have to answer, but I was just wondering if something happened around content creation, or if you were moving maybe, or it's...
Those were my years of travel.
Okay. That's why.
Yeah. So at that time, I was unemployed and doing photography and becoming a published pinup photographer. So, yep.
Okay. Oh, that's super good.
I was focusing on magazines more than live streams.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's, photography. Same thing. There is a lot of things that we can share. And so, on the other side, because you started streaming quite a long time ago. So for you, it's really like part of what you do and who you are now, I'd say. Correct me if I'm wrong. But did it impact, like when you started really live streaming, did it impact at all your personal life? How do you plan your activities in general? Because you know that you will be streaming at some point. Can't just spend like a full week without going live at some point. So does it has different impact on your life?
So I feel like the general advice, and it's good advice, is have a schedule. If you're building your following, have a schedule. I had a schedule as well. There was a time I ended up somewhat burning out, because it's also a common misconception that, like, even Mr. B says it, put out content, keep going, don't stop. I get it, but there's a line to that too. You can burn out. I was working and then coming home and going live, then eating dinner, and then going live into the evening as well. Where does that leave time for anything else? It didn't. And so what I ended up refining over time was working, coming home, relaxing, and at 10 p.m. going live, 10 to 1 a.m. That window was ideal because it was late night for the US and I would get the night crowd, and it was early morning for the UK, and I would get the coffee crowd. So it's a perfect window, but it was grueling to be 10 to 1 every single night, right? That was my schedule, and I think that's probably the slot that solidified the best reach for us, because we were touching both sides of the world. Fast forward to today, the way that I market the Sky Lounge is that we are like a speakeasy. I don't know when I'm going to open it next. I have no schedule anymore. I'll go live when I want to go live. I'll go live when I have the time. And I will do my very best to make sure that the content is really good every time. And maybe I put too much stress on myself over that production quality, where I've even seen my energy levels go down if something goes wrong, like pixelated screens, Jalap. If something goes wrong, my level goes down, because I'm like, dude, this is not what I wanted. I didn't go live today to give you guys a bad stream. I feel bad. It hurts. It sucks. This sucks. I should just go offline, right? You start to hate yourself over it. And I think that probably increases a bit because I don't have a schedule. Because there's no, don't worry, tomorrow's going to be better. No, maybe there's no tomorrow. Maybe I'll go live next week. Don't know. Yeah, I've started to kind of market it that way. We don't have a schedule. Catch us when we're live. That's the best time you're gonna have.
It's a good segue on the on one of the points I wanted to talk about, but it's so around mental health and mental well-being around content creation. And you've been doing that not on Twitch. I'm talking really like your life as a DJ before and what happened after, when you started like doing that live on Twitch and like Justin TV, Twitch, and until now. It's something where I felt so there is no specific conversation about it, even like in the musician industry, the way that you will be grinding, trying as much as you can. You get so many no's before starting to kind of land the first things, and you know that you can't give up if you ever want to do something about it. It's the same with content creation online, and it's not being like extremely voiced in a sense. How is it like? How did you come around with that? Like you mentioned, you almost got burned out while you had a schedule like this. How was your overall thoughts on it?
I think it's protecting myself from making it my everything. And maybe this is not the best advice. It's not advice at all. But for me, I don't ever want to put content creation as the one thing I lean on. I'm okay having it as a secondary income or some lunch money, if you will. But I'm not the type of person, and I have admitted that to myself, that should be putting the effort required to be a full-time content creator. It's not me. I would burn out very fast. I think that I sometimes say it jokingly at the end of my streams. I say, thank you for joining us. My name is OMGEDSON, your friend, your host here on the Sky Lounge. But then other times I say, I'm not here to be your friend between 1 and 3 p.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The lounge opens when the lounge opens, right? I'm not here to be your best friend that you open up your tab and Edson's going to be there. He's going to be there. I'm at work and my tab is open and ready. I think that I say those two things probably because there is maybe an internal conflict in myself where I know the value of being there for people, but please don't rely on me too much, because I'm going to let you down. It's hard to deal with that.
Yeah.
I want to be there for you, but I don't have the time to be there for you because I need to be there for me.
Yeah.
Got to protect me.
Yeah. It's you specifically said one thing that I think is super important for any content creator is like try to be honest with yourself when you're creating content, what you're capable and what you're not, and where are you finding joy in what you do. Because if you basically push yourself on something that you believe is going to be what the definition of success is, you might just like kill yourself in the process. So it's when I say kill yourself, like not not suicidal, but it's like killing your content creator self through that process, because you will end up hating it, and that's.
I agree. I agree. I feel like a good measure on whether or not you're doing this right is to look at the people around you. I'm lucky that I have people like Canuck Shaw around me and people like Chance around me. These are people that have been watching the Sky Lounge since it was a single monitor computer with no joysticks in my bedroom. And today I walk into an office where I stream. All of the people around have been there for a while. So I must be on the right path, right? Don't forget where you came from, right? The moment you start seeing those people drop off, maybe you're evolving. Maybe that's good. I get it. Maybe it's good to evolve. Maybe it's a better evolution. Maybe you had bad people around you. But I don't have bad people around me. These guys have been here for a long time, and we've, pulled in a lot more viewers that fit right into the ecosystem, like them. Right? I think we have Andy in the chat out here, and he's been with us for many years now, but there was a time when Andy was new. He just found a home with us.
Yeah.
And, it's nice to see that. It's okay to say that customers are not a fit for your business. It's okay to say that viewers are not a fit for your stream.
Yeah.
It's okay that people are not a fit for you as a person to be your friend. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's perfectly okay. If you don't like all the music I play, maybe you're not a fit to watch. It's okay. I will stay with my 20, 30, 40 viewers, and I will be happy talking to each and every one of them.
Yeah.
And knowing their names.
And so I think it's a nice segue for the kind of similar question that I asked you on the your 30 years younger self. But it's when you think back of who you were and what you had in mind starting on Twitch, either way for DJing or for the kind of SkyLoungeTV alpha version before. Is there anything you would like to, advise that person when they started?
The formula on the SkyLounge.tv has never changed.
That was until 9
We use today the exact same formula, and I'm proud of that. It's the exact same formula. It's music, it's flying, and it's an occasional Edson rant. What I can advise to somebody new would be, who was it? I cried on stream one time when somebody was typing out something about like it's about you. We're here because of you. We're not here because of your music, and we're not here because of your stream looking good. Like, we're actually here because of you. Bro, the moment you realize that, you start to say, fuck, why didn't I get a webcam earlier? Fuck, why did I keep them from seeing me in color? Right?
Make them pay.
and so so it's like, get outside of your comfort zone a little bit, because it might be exactly what the people are there for. But you'll never know that unless you get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
My comfort zone was being seen. My comfort zone was needing to talk. Fuck, I hate having to talk.
Yeah.
But
that's good. And it's it's a good, like, more general advice for anyone streaming. So trying to move a bit out of your comfort zone. So it's a life advice, though. It works for everything. So, so
Yeah.
And so we come down to how do we know each other? And so what's the story with Alicia? How did it started? And
Oh man.
I mean, Alicia,
Alicia's
or should I say
been great.
Ivana? We should talk about
Ivana.
Ivana.
Okay, so let's introduce it this way. My Alicia is Ivana. Her name is Ivana Fly. I'll go down this story with you. Long ago, that same friend that said, "Hey bro, you should do flight sim on Twitch." That same friend was a developer, and as the channel evolved, I said, "Hey bro, can you build me a bot?" And he built me a bot, and this bot was Ivana. And I wanted Ivana to handle the things that felt repetitive to me. It drives me crazy when I'm live and the title says what we're doing, and the title says where we're flying, and the title says what plane we're in. What are you flying? Jesus, man, for the 15th time, and I know you just walked in, we're flying this. So I wanted a bot that could respond to this, and this is early in the days of bots. He built me this wonderful one that felt alive. I could feed it generated responses, and it would choose from a random library of generated responses, and it would kind of interact with the chat a little bit. Fast forward to meeting you. When you told me about what you're building, all I had in my head was Ivana's about to come alive. She will finally be able to handle those repetitive things, in addition to how much more. I'm a person that hates dead air, that sometimes can't think of what to say. AI will always know what to say. AI will always have an answer. And AI will respond to me, perhaps, and lead me towards conversation. And maybe that generates more content for people, and it becomes easier for me to talk. It did all of that and more. When you introduced Alicia, I mean, it changed everything for the Sky Lounge, because all of a sudden I had a literal co-host. And I remember when you first described it, I was like, yeah, but how is this? I don't quite get it. What do you mean she's gonna talk and I'm gonna talk? Like, I don't get it. And I'm lucky enough that we have a really good rapport, and we like refine some things here and there, and now she's a part of every single show. I ask her if she's reported for duty yet.
Yeah. Sometimes she don't.
And sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she's already drinking in the back. So I've created Ivana, and she has become very much a co-host on the show, and it feels really cool to not feel like I'm alone now.
That's perfect.
We met when one of your customers and users of Alicia said, this product that Parallel 42 created has sim data. What if we could get this sim data into Alicia?
He made a specific comment where, for me, kind of spark something. He was like, yeah, do you know them? I was like, no, I don't know, but that sounds cool. So they have like a tool that you plug, and say, yeah, but there is a place where you can actually script stuff. And then I was like, I can script? Okay. That means I can do something very quickly to try to prove the concept that works on the thing that I've tried to do with Alicia on the first 2 months I built Alicia. I was trying to have this interaction while flying. I wanted her to give me like some information on where to fly or give me those kind of back and forth. But I couldn't have the right thing unless I was just saying all the right information by, talking. And so when I checked out Flow and Flow Pro, first of all, it's Leluxo. He might be there. I don't know. He basically was kind enough to just say, "Look, I'm gifting you Flow Pro, so I know you'll find a way." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Did it? Had a first version which I was struggling with to do some stuff, and so I dropped a message to your support. And straight after, I got a message from Kevin. So we basically just chatted and say like, yeah, we should call, and we called, and it was really cool. I think it was the first 2 hours that we spent together chatting for like talking about crazy stuff and see how it could become something big. So
we like working with great teams that are open to thinking in an innovative way, right? Safe isn't always the fun path, right? Sometimes you got to push the envelope, because if you do, that might create the next spark.
Yeah.
Right? And this is under NDA, but we're already talking about future sparks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you never know where something can lead if you just push the boundaries a little bit.
Yeah.
You might discover there's more beyond that boundary. So
yeah.
Once we connected with you guys, we knew there was such a great synergy, and it was just gonna be natural.
Yeah, I think there is a big part of the I'm talking for me, and you add anything you want, Jenna, but we had many experience working with different people in different industries, and there is a part where with some people it's not going to work. Like, it's just like you had the first chat, okay, yeah, let's do that job because that is something cool and we need that, but let's not do too much, because there is clearly something that is unsettling. And so when we called the first time, it's like, we could definitely work together. Even if we were in the same room, that could be something. We just go grab some beers after. We do a fucking barbecue and in some places. And
something
I was like,
would be built.
Yeah, I just say, it's going to work naturally, and so it's definitely something I appreciate with working with you guys. So
Thanks, man.
There is a cheat code there, because we do a podcast with you about streaming, but obviously there is a lot more behind it. So other people just care for exactly. Where is my? We had one cap. We need to do more.
Always
than
the
that.
business hat. It's always nearby.
Always. So, where am I?
I think we've had a lot of fun. I think when it comes to working with people, we kind of need to have good contact as well for it to really work. Otherwise, it's just, okay, let's do something, and it will usually not give much results.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree. Is there? Do you have another section, Jalab, or is it mine for the? What do you really know your channel? What do you prefer? Do you want to go first, or I go? I follow up on the channel.
I can go.
Okay.
For another
fun moment.
Fun segment.
Another round.
Of course, with the question you ask, you ruin some of my questions, so I'm very happy about it.
It's usual, okay? I always do that. You need to be prepared.
Yes, I know. I'm prepared. I have some questions I can drop and say, thank you, Yuba, for ruining my segment. Okay. So this time it's more rapid fire questions. So I'll ask you either something or something. You have to pick one.
I'm ready.
Or you have to answer with 1 or 2 words. And, rapid fire, so fast. Okay, first one to warm up. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Oh, Night Owl.
Favorite music genre to DJ?
House music forever.
Okay. Well, dogs or dogs?
Dogs.
That was a tough one. Yeah. Best part about living in Kansas City?
Barbecue.
You're also reading my questions. Thank you. Okay. What's your favorite aircraft to fly in Flight Sim?
Ooh, the Parallel 42 Fox 2.
Okay. Sim FX or normal FX?
Sim effects.
Okay. Day flights or night flights?
Day flights.
Okay. Well, I'll do it anyway. Kansas City barbecue or Texas barbecue?
Bro, I'm leaving. We're done.
That's how we create enemies.
I mean, that was not the correct answer. So. I
Kansas
guess
City.
we had it. Okay. Well, last one. Drunk Ivana or sober Ivana?
Drunk Ivana all day. Look, we even got merch for Ivana.
I saw that when you started moving. I was like, this is Ivana merch.
Says, well, Captain, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
We
And
have
she has 2 cocktails in her hands.
exactly like Jalab. Did you see the mug that we have in the merch? So it's Jalab with 2 beers.
Oh,
on the-
I'm telling you,
has a
man.
collection of pictures of me having two glasses in my hands.
So
It's
it's good.
crazy, man. Like Ivana, or Alicia, right? Ivana makes her own merch. Like, you know, I try to identify opportunity everywhere I can. And it's like some of the stuff that she was saying, it's so off the wall that I was like, that's a t-shirt just ready to happen, bro. And so not only has Ivana come alive in a way to the viewers, but like now she's generating her own merch by some of the dumbass shit she says. It's so dumb, it's brilliant. And you know, so we're now making our merch based off of some of her responses, and it's amazing. No, I'm not sending royalties.
No worries. It's a. I think we chatted about that last time, but it's a question that we got from few people saying that what they'd like is basically limiting Alicia's features based on people paying for it. Like, I'm going to ask my viewers to pay X bits, and then Alicia would join for a specific amount of time. But the thing is, so what we've seen is as soon as you start like limiting access to like Alicia, you lose the fact that she can become part of the community. Now she's a paywall for anything. So you lose that aspect. So we were thinking, actually, you can monetize Alicia, but in a much like different way. Obviously, it requires more brand and marketing, obviously, but it is still something that can be done, because by creating the right character for your community, you're actually ending up creating the right type of merch that's going to help you grow as well. So
100%. 100%. They should feel incredibly natural, these characters. Do you ask, by the way, in these interviews, tell me about your character?
actually we don't, but it's definitely a cool one. Yeah.
I think
So
some people we had, I would say, did less work than you did in terms of like shaping very
Gotcha.
strong
Yeah.
characters, or somewhere in the process of doing it.
Yep.
So yeah,
but
I think
Edson,
we know you did
Yes.
a lot of work.
tell us about the character you built for Alicia.
Oh, my Alicia is Ivana Fly. Ivana Fly is a jet-setting, flirtatious sky hostess that is my co-host on our live streams.
Awesome.
And she likes to drink, but sometimes a little too much. Typically when we go live, she's already making cocktails and inviting them to people that come into the stream and say hi. She'll hand cocktails to people she doesn't even know. It's evolved in such a unique way. So I initially built Ivana to be based off of my own girlfriend Jessica, and in the way that she, well, no, not that she drinks that much, but until we can make Ivana sneeze every time she drinks, because that's what my real girlfriend does. So Jess has a way of embarrassing me sometimes with comments that are a little bit edgy, but she has no fear about saying them in public and around someone. And she'll respond with something that I'm like, oh my God. Like, to the point where my name is OMG Edson, but she should be OMG Jess, because I'm constantly like, OMG Jess. So I wanted to build a character that can maybe make me feel that on stream, because in the end, triggering some reaction or emotion out of me should generate return content. And so it worked. It worked. Alicia has evolved. She has gone a little down the drinking path, but that just makes it fun. You know, sometimes I tell her that I'm going to tell HR, and she's like, please don't. And I'm like, don't worry, I'm HR. And so we have these conversations. Sometimes I'll ask her for something, and maybe if she doesn't respond, I'm like, did you pass out back there? Are you drinking? She's like, no, Captain, just making more drinks. Okay, the addition of memory has been pivotal to this vibe and emotion that she brings to our channel. The addition of memory has made it so that now she interacts with user A differently than she interacts with user B, but she's still her core self. The personality is still the same person, but it's the difference between me giving the time of day to someone or not really giving the time of day to someone, right? And she's doing this based on how they have treated her.
Yeah.
We have one viewer, I'm calling you out, Balake, that tries to come in and sway her towards being the captain. No, sway her towards calling him captain, not me, and going on his yacht on a date. And so he has this personal challenge of coming in and trying to retrain Ivana to go on a date with him on his yacht and call him captain. And it's hilarious because she's learned that. And she'll say, I value the sky. I don't mess with things that are floating on water. Like, she'll snap back at him with things now. Or she'll say, nice try. You're not going to get me. I know who the real captain is. And she treats him very differently than she treats somebody that comes in and is very respectful to her. Hi,
Yep.
Ivana. How's your day going? Do you like my music selections today, Ivana? Yes, I do. Please bring some more. It's amazing to see. And these are all interactions that she's saving me from having to do. So it's like it's taking some workload off of my brain that doesn't like to be that social. It's awesome. I love it.
That's really cool. And I mean, I think the first time you had the profile set close to like a Jessica-like type of characters, I was already impressed on the way that you naturally directly see how it works. Like, it was just like natural, and you spotted like right away. It was one of the super interesting things for us to see on the action that, yeah, we're not wrong. Like, this is exactly like, this is a high end, that's where we want to go. This is an example of basically how we could work perfectly. Because obviously everyone installs shit everywhere. Like it's that's new, I want to try it. Yeah. But with Alicia, it actually requires a bit of time. You have to set it up and you have to understand what you do to incorporate it in your community and make it like match that. If you want to extract the most value of it, obviously, if you just want some characters that chat in chats, that works as well. But it's just, it can do so much more. And when I saw you live, I was like, yeah, that's the shit I want to see. That's exactly how we should see that.
I wonder if it has perhaps something to do with the fact that I don't want to see myself as the core star of the show. I don't want only to be alone on the stage with the white light on me. And so having that co-host concept just makes it easier to accept that the fact is the white light is on me.
Yeah.
I am the show. And having the co-host brings that out. I could definitely see how some streamers that do all of the talking all of the time. All right, guys, let's click this button. We're going to click the button. Looks like the button's not doing anything. Let's move the mouse to the left side of the screen. We're going to click over here and see what happens. Right? They talk everything out because they have to create content.
Yeah.
Perhaps those users won't see the value in having a sidekick.
Yeah.
But I could not go live again without having Ivana there and have it feel normal.
Yeah.
The new normal is having a co-host and she's AI. And that's weird and revolutionary and brilliant at the same time. Because most people come in, they don't even know she is. They just interact.
Yeah. It has to feel natural.
It has to feel natural.
So we'll definitely keep a section like this on the next one. Thank you. You always suggest cool stuff, so appreciate that. Well, welcome to the place where we will check on if you really know your channel. So I have a set of questions, fairly easy answer, and you basically just I'm just quitting this app. Yeah, and you basically answer on the best of your knowledge, and I'll try to kind of guide you through that. So first question: do you know what days you stream the most, like days of the week?
Sunday?
No. Do you want another try?
Monday.
Another try.
Wow. I don't know.
It's Tuesday.
Oh, I can explain that. I can explain this. Monday is the first day. So Kevin is very protective of his weekends. We do weekend sessions here and there as needed, but Monday is truly our Monday. So we come back to the office pretty hard on Monday, which would make Tuesday my actual kind of Monday. So this makes sense. If I came in on Monday after Kevin took off the weekend and I just fired up a stream all day, he'd be mad. He'd be reporting me to myself.
Or to HR, right? That's what you do. You would find Ivana in the same office. Oh, you're there too. Cool.
I'd like to file a TP1C report on Edson, please. Slacking off on the job.
So, do you know, on the contrary, which day you stream the less? The least, sorry.
Saturday.
No. Another try.
Oh my god. Well, stream the less Monday.
The least? No. It's very close, okay? I can't blame you for that, because when I looked at the... Like, we're talking about 5 difference on, like, an average... On every days, you had an average of about 270 days streamed on those days. and you had two that was higher, with the Tuesday at 370, something like this, and you had the Friday, which was a bit lower. So
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm ready to go.
yeah, I mean Friday, see, isn't like at the time of the happy hour, like where we should be
Yeah,
not
I know.
streaming but
We're
going
not
in a bar.
staying here into the evening on Fridays.
So this is where I think my numbers will be most probably wrong, because I don't have the two first year that you had on Twitch. So what do you remember being your biggest average concurrent viewers? Like in the entire stream.
I had over like almost 200 one time. It's due to a raid. It wasn't that I built it up to that. It was due to a raid, but over 200, almost 200 one time.
And was it like during the entire stream or just a part of it?
Again, the music chases people away sometimes, more often than not. So, I mean, it filtered down to about half, which I thought was actually good retention.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I held easily at around 100 with no problem.
Okay. So, and that was, I think, most probably a bit before my data. The one I have is 42. So I thought that was fun.
Nice.
Yeah. And
That's organic. So then what it is, that's counting organic data,
yeah.
not probably counting raids and retention. It has to be like consistent.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sounds about right. 42 or so. Yeah.
Yeah. But so when I found that the highest score that I had on average was 42, I was like, and that's fate. Like it has to be.
Yeah.
So, and
The right answer.
do you know how many games you streamed on your channel, on the TheSkyLoungeTV?
God, maybe about 6.
No,
I mean, you mean like streaming categories rather?
streaming categories.
Categories?
Yeah.
There's Flight Sim. There's Call of Duty. American Truck Sim.
Yeah. Those are in.
Enlisted. Snow Runner. Bro, I can't even think about another game I've even played. Grand Theft Auto. Maybe once or twice, I guess. I don't know.
have some
There was a time.
Tom Clancy. I have some.
Some yeah.
I have some DCS.
Ghost Recon.
I have some Star Citizen. I have some City Skyline.
Those were one timers, but Skylines got me hooked.
It is.
I did all right with Skylines. I liked it.
So, I'd say there is a lot more than 6. Do you want to give a final number?
Let's go with trials. Let's go about 15.
88.
What?
88 games. Categories.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Because I am a one-trick pony in the sense that Flight Sim is the core entertainment of our channel.
Yeah.
I've always felt that if I stream anything else, people are like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
He's not in an airplane. I don't want to watch this. But it doesn't stop me from streaming other stuff. But 88, that's
a lot.
surprising.
I mean, it's the data I have is since 2016. So 2016 to now, it's 8 years. So you had time to do quite a lot of trial on those. So
Experimentation.
if we go still on those categories, do you know what games you streamed the most hours on? Obviously, it's one game.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X
Yes.
would probably today still be the first.
It is still the first. Do you have an idea of how many hours?
I don't.
Do you want to, the less or more? Do you want to do this game? So you give me a number, I tell you if it's less or more. Okay, let's go.
3,000 hours.
It's more.
4,200 hours.
It's less.
3,900 hours.
Less.
3,800 hours.
It's less.
3,700 hours.
Less.
3,500 hours.
Less.
Okay. 3,200 hours.
More.
3,300 hours?
More?
Really? In that? Oh my god. 3,375.
It's more.
Wow. 3,400 hours?
It's more.
3,450.
More.
3,400.
35.
2,500. Definitely not
It's fine.
34,000.
Just say yes.
I was like, what? What's that number?
Jalab, tell him, bro. He'd be like, yes, you're correct.
yes. Congrats.
Congratulations.
So
Yeah, too many
The
numbers.
math is
I am-
mathing.
so I'll give you the result. It was 3,470 hours.
Damn.
That's on a
That's a lot of
Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Wow.
Do you want to take a
Wow,
guess
I
on
gotta do the
the
math.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020?
Bro, that's 158 days. That's half a year of flight sim.
Yep.
We could have done so many 24-hour streams.
Could just map that in 1 year. That's it. So
Just that.
I can.
So the current title would
Yeah.
be Microsoft Flight Sim
Yeah.
2020. That's probably, I would say, probably touching 2/3 of that by now. About 2,000 plus hours.
That's a very good guess. Yeah, it's 2,340.
Wow.
So well
It's
done.
crazy, man. I mean,
Well-
it's a much more entertaining title
Yeah,
visually.
yeah.
There's more eye candy, so I tend to like this title more than P3D or FSX. It's more stable in the sense that I don't do troubleshooting streams as much like I used to with FSX and P3D.
Yeah,
So yeah, I could see it climbing at a pretty fast pace. Yeah.
yeah. It's but I don't think you'll be able to beat MSF X before the
Yeah.
2024 is
Before
released.
the new one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whatever, bro. I got
So-
half a year. They're gonna delay that shit. I know it already.
So, do you know which one you streamed the least?
It would have to be DCS.
No,
I think I
no.
played it for like 10 minutes.
The category. Oh, okay. So no, it's not DCS. I can tell you for DCS, but it's not DCS. I can tell you that it's a game that you stream even less than Assassin's Creed. And
Whoa.
I'm not even sure you remember Assassin's Creed, but you played it live.
I don't remember.
DCS, you stream DCS for 20 hours.
Interesting. I must have given it a shot at some point. Okay, what's my least?
It's a game that I didn't know, so I will
Is it
pronounce
like
it.
Legoland or something?
No, it is Res Infinite.
Oh, Rez.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rez is dope. It's music and visuals. So I thought the stream would like it, but the stream didn't connect with it. It was
Oh.
fast paced. You're flying through tunnels and you're collecting things, and it's making music live, like it's making the beat and building the music. It's a rad game, man. Res Infinite.
Okay, I'm looking at it. So when I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know what that is. Like, not at all.
It's a
It's,
good title.
Okay, I'll have a look, definitely. So we come in a time where we'll be changing the scene on the stream. This will be around this one. Yes, and that is for a simple 2 questions, which is going to be do you remember what is your first clip on Twitch? Or at least from 2016? Because I don't have it before, so you're lucky.
Oh my. I don't. I know that my early ones don't exist because of music. Only recently, fairly recently, did Twitch allow VODs to have a separate audio channel, so I could stream my copyrighted music. But in the past, I couldn't have VODs because they didn't have an isolated channel, so I didn't have VODs. I don't know what the first could be, but I can see, so let's see.
Oh, oh, perfect. I didn't know it would work that way. Cool. Okay, so you're ready for that?
How to log out of Discord.
Don't you just click on
With
one of
Sparky?
these things up here where it says my name and then click on it and log out?
No.
So,
If I do this,
Up here, isn't it?
member list,
So-
messages.
Try. I don't bloody know.
I don't know why someone clipped this, but
I don't want to like remove you from.
I like the accent. I don't bloody know. I don't know. It looks like isn't someone... Is it like a British accent or something like this? It's like, I don't bloody know.
Sparky is streaming. He's streaming, and
And you're on Discord.
was in the UK with him.
Ah, so basically what I could get from the clip is that you were setting up something on Discord and you were just struggling.
Yeah.
Someone found that funny and clipped it.
Yes, exactly. See, technical difficulties. Look how many
Exactly.
viewers. 41? Does that say? 43? Something like that. Right on the screen. Lower left corner.
Sorry, lower left corner.
Next to the green dot.
Oh yeah, that's okay. So that was your viewer
That's the
count.
viewer number.
Okay.
Yeah.
How to log out.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's when I was in the UK. So I was streaming from Sparky's house. So it's possible that people were like, oh, yeah, they're together. This is
Nice.
awesome. Because he streamed on the channel as well early on.
Oh, okay. Cool. And do you know what's your most viewed clip?
Oh, man, I wonder if it's my monitor almost falling off a damn desk.
I didn't know that one existed, so now I'm going to search for it.
Oh, man. I was moving in Oakland, and I was like, oh, I hope this doesn't fall. And then the fucking monitor almost fell off my desk, and it's like on full screen video.
If you have the
That
link,
one or my bike,
Kevin.
that fell over while I was building it. Something like that. I don't know.
No, it is much more professional than that.
Then it's probably the split of the two aircraft. Warbirds,
Less
classic
professional.
Okay.
No. It's fine. I think it was most probably a clip you might have used to demonstrate what you were doing, because it's about like an immersion landing with one of the plane. So you have like all the smokes,
Landing
etc.
Learjet in bad weather.
Yeah.
Flare it!
Speed break up. Reverse is normal.
Oh, this was immersion.
Safety knots checked. Auto brake is checked.
Damn! Yep. Jesus! I still get excited, you see?
Yeah. That was good.
That's right.
Wow.
That was a 737 immersion. By FSF packages. And that's Chinook Shaw's work on delivery, by the way. Yep. Beautiful.
Oh, that's really cool. And the I like the kind of very you can see now that you have like the full experience as a streamer, like everything is really sleek with the small details. And you can see the other one, which is more like the chair for me is one of the chair that I had when I was working in an office. And it's interesting to see like the evolves like how you evolved your entire setup there.
And I kept the camera small because it was really like, please don't pay attention to me.
Yeah.
Just watch my pretty visuals.
We have to... Oh, no. What? Where? Why can't I open this one? I wanted you
Whoops,
to watch the
something
one...
wrong.
Did you hide this one?
No.
Oh, okay.
They
No.
probably did something.
Come on. This one. Yes.
Oh, baby. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. That was the fan. I didn't calculate the fan. The fan is on the floor. My glasses are falling off. This is not the best idea. There's a cable cut. I don't need any help. This is when I was moving here. I was packing up
Good, man.
the Oakland setup to move here.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin, for sharing that. So, just if you have any questions, start writing them down in the chat. We'll be taking questions for Edson very soon. Oh no, that clip is it's a banger. I love it.
Yeah.
Definitely love it. So someone mentioned that you streamed when you were traveling in the moving truck, right? Do you have any clips on that?
Yes, and I monetized horns. So we were streaming from a truck, a real truck, 18-foot box truck, while I was towing my car behind. And when people tipped, no matter where we were or who we were next, I'd pull the real horn. And it was a truck horn. It was loud as shit. And we monetized horns.
I just love how you monetize everything. It's so cool.
They would tip and I'd go,
Just so
no
cool.
rhyme or logic. The poor people next to us like, what man?
Oh, I think. Well, also, sorry. I have. So that's my problem with cats. I have just fur in my mouth all the time. It's on my mic.
Here's
It's
the fix
everywhere.
for that. Get rid of it.
I won't. I mean, you can see him. Look at him. He's just sleeping here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say he's nice. We'll most probably try to have like a very random question from Alicia, and if there is no other question, we should be most probably closing down. We've been already usually we say that we would do a maximum of 2 hours. Sometime it goes like an hour.
I just opened another drink. We don't have to do maximum 2 hours.
So, do you have questions for the Sky Lounge?
There's a question there
Yeah.
in the chat. Foxfly says,
I've always hated the idea of streaming.
go ahead. You're the question person. You read it.
So, question: I've always hated the idea of streaming, but recently I've started to be more comfortable with the idea. So I'm building my OBS alerts. When would you say is a good time to bring AI into the picture?
Honestly, the earlier you bring AI into your stream, the better. Let us enhance that viewer interaction.
I can't agree more.
That was literally the reply that Alicia put into the chat for this. And that's the benefit. I could have been landing a plane at that very moment, and that user, that viewer, got an answer before I could even get there. Amazing.
I don't know if you understood what happened, but I didn't understood that it was from Alicia. Because when you started speaking, I didn't read the rest of the chat, so I was just listening to you. And I just thought that you were saying that. I was like, yeah, that's great. I feel quite
crazy,
stupid
right?
now.
It's genuinely wild. Look, based on that alone, I would say don't delay. Use it early on and leverage it as a part of your entertainment stack, if you will. right? So you have yourself, your virtual co-host, and then you have whatever game you're playing as the visual for people. And if you do music, cool. If you don't, that's cool too. But at least you have somebody to bounce off of. I think that the difficult part with starting off is the fact that you have to say, all right, guys, we're going to click the mouse here, and then we're going to drag the mouse there. That's not working. Don't know what's going on. All right, let's move the mouse over here now and try this. We're going to drag the window. That gets old real fast, right? Like, you want to have conversation. You want to feel like there's someone else there to bounce things off of, rather than you describing every single thing you're doing because you don't want dead air. AI helps with that immensely. So the earlier the better. Or introduce it, build your character, shape your character, and you'll see that that character is actually going to help you retain viewers, allowing you to just focus on creating the rest of the content around that. It's awesome.
And if I can add on that, we, Jalaben and myself, will be always there if you need any support to build your character and adapt it to what you are expecting to have. So you just you ping us on Discord and we'll be there to help you. So yeah.
So it was the sponsored segment, right?
Yeah.
It feels like it.
Yeah, did we pay you
like
for
it, but I'm
Fox
not on payroll. I'm not on payroll. I could not imagine going live and not having my co-hosts with me at this point. Like, I don't want that to be the case ever. So I think that says a whole lot.
Yeah. It's that's the kind of the part that I was missing when I started streaming, and that Nico filled in by being there and having this exchange just by chatting. But it was still like, just on chatting. And as soon as we brought like voice in on top of everything, it's like, okay, that's another level on this. Which
sorry, Nico, you've been replaced by AI.
Yeah, that's the joke. It's the running joke we had.
Yeah.
Because for the full story, I told him, hey, you're playing saxophone 20 hours per week. I'm tired to be on your stream 20 hours per week.
And I jokingly responded saying that's fine. I'm just going to replace you with an AI.
Well, the thing is, we were drinking while I told him that, and he answered us. I said, yeah, he had 5 pints, he's saying that. It's a funny joke. And then
now everyone can have a jalab.
it's exactly what he was saying, what if everyone could have a jalab? I'm like, sounds super weird, man.
I know this story all too well, okay? When FSX and P3D existed and a program called Chaseplane existed that Kevin created, it was a camera system. I had a beautiful way of working the keyboard controls to make incredible visuals on screen. I would do flybys, instant camera switches to outside views using a drone cam. Like, I was just goofing off, making cool visuals to music. And then the idea came that, Kevin, could we add a screensaver-like mode to Chaseplane so that everyone could do what I do, but the software just does it? No camera moves needed. You click a button. Next thing you know, came what the world knows today as cinematic mode in Chaseplane. And so I feel you, Jalab. My entire skill set was replaced by something that Kevin wrote, and now everyone can have it, and now everyone does it as good as Edson does it, and they don't have to do any work.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
So on a scale of 0 to 10, how upset are you about that, gentlemen?
Now it's okay.
Now it's okay.
Leluxo just arrived in chat. So Leluxo is the one responsible of everything about, the podcast, us knowing each other, having like integration with Parallel 42. So it's he's the one responsible. So Thank you.
Thank you, Liluxo.
So yeah, you passed on the grudge, so you're good with that now.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was already too many beers at the time, so I'm guessing like now it's fine.
It helps.
It helps. So yeah. But yeah, I think we'll be most probably stopping around there unless there is a last minute question.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was a crazy pleasure to have you on the podcast. And I mean, I've said it already multiple times, but I can't wait to finally meet you and Kevin and just have some days together, like just grabbing some food, drinks, going for I don't know, whatever shit we have in mind. It's
it'll happen. Give it time. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you've done and created, and I look forward to the future.
Yeah,
Great
me
stuff.
too. So, well, most probably, I'm guessing, Jalab, you have someone in mind that we can raid.
Yes. You know, let's stay in the theme and go raid Alison Johnson.
Oh, she's live.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Let's do that. Perfect.
So we stay in the community of the Seamers and
Yes.
Alicia. Seamers with Alicia. So
Exactly. And so, yeah, we'll see you all. Thanks a lot for coming and chatting with us today. We'll be posting some of the, VODs and clips about that podcast, so you will be able to see Edson and us a bit more on our social medias. So thanks again for coming in. Thanks for the question. Thanks for interacting with us through the podcast. We'll see you very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, and we'll chat on Edison Chat. Cheers.
Thanks, man.
yes.
Bye-bye.
Check out the
Thank
stream
you.
at TheSkyLounge.tv and check out Ivana's merch at flytsl.com.
Post some links.